Love that beat. So, hello and welcome to Two Therapists and a Microphone. I am Dr. Harrison Davis.
And I'm Dr. Aisha Dickerson.
Two Therapists and a Microphone is a show about mental health, relationships, and social issues that personally affect you. We air live every Thursday at 7 o'clock p.m. on the Our Black Media Network.
Dr. Harrison and I are two licensed psychotherapists with decades of clinical experience, and we want to hear from you. We want to hear about the situations or dilemmas that you're going through. So please send us your questions by visiting www.twotherapist.com and click on Ask Two Therapists at the top of the page.
Absolutely. We really want to hear from you guys. I'm still setting up for you guys to call in, but you can always join the show through chat. Make sure you like us on Facebook, Twitter, and on YouTube. I had to think about it for a second. So today has been a busy day. I'm glad to be here. We're a little bit late, 15 minutes late, but we resolved some technical issues and some logistical issues. So today we have hot topics where Aisha and I are going to bring up some topics that are popular in the media right now or something interesting that happened to us sometimes. So today I want to talk about what we're all learning about Nia Long, the actress, and her fiance. I hope I pronounced his name correctly. Ime Udoko.
Okay.
Is that it? I
I
know
have
his
no
first name
idea.
is Ime.
I have
uh,
zero idea. I can't help you there. Not today.
Gotcha. So some of us know Nia Long. You remember Nia Long,
Hmm.
someone from my generation. I think she was one of our black sex symbols. I remember her from Boys in the Hood, The Best Man, and a few other movies that she was in. What was the movie with Lorenz Tate? Was she in that one?
Um,
No, that was Jada Pinkett.
Yeah, I can't. There are a lot of
Love
actors
Jones.
of that time. Well, I want to say yeah, I was like, she was in Love Jones. Was she in Friday?
Was she in Friday? She may have been,
I have no idea.
but
I know
she's
she's in
been
a
a
lot of stuff. Like she's been in so many things. It's going to be hard for me to figure out
very attractive
exactly
and
which one.
talented
Hmm.
actress, where her fiance is the head coach for the Boston Celtics NBA team, and he actually took them to the NBA Finals last year. I believe it was his first year. Well, he's been suspended by the Boston Celtics and the NBA for a year, I believe, because of inappropriate behavior. What's coming out in the media is that he had an affair with a female staffer within the organization. So I'm hearing a lot about this on social media and in the local radio stations. A lot
Right.
of people are asking, especially guys, maybe guys over 40, 45, are wondering, number one, how did he get her? And number two, why would you cheat and on Nia Long? But more information is coming out about that. I don't know all the details, but it looks like the female staffer was involved with travel, making travel plans, and there are some rumors. I have to identify this information as rumors.
Okay.
Is that she is the wife of one of the executives.
I hadn't heard
Uh,
that part yet.
yeah, that's out there. Of one of the executives for the Boston Celtics, and she may have wanted to break it off the affair with Ime, and he didn't want to break it off. But I'm not clear about the details about that. Again, those are rumors that I'm hearing as some other NBA players are coming forward to talk about
Mm.
what they know. So today's hot topic, Dr. Aisha would love for us to talk about because of that situation. That would happen to be infidelity
Mm-hmm.
in the marriage. But what do you know about their relationship
Well, so what I do know is they've been together for a really long time.
since 2010? They got a 10-year
Right.
old son.
Okay, but another thing about that is they've been engaged, and from what I read, and I feel like this was in an article or something. Nia basically made it clear that she was happy to be engaged per se, but had no
Yeah.
intent of ever being married to him.
Yep.
So my thoughts when I see the articles and all that is what leeway is present when you have determined that you aren't going to marry someone? I mean, you're in a committed relationship, and don't get me wrong, I don't think anyone should ever cheat. And also, I won't say but because but negates everything you said before. But and also when you decide not to legally attach yourself to someone,
Yeah.
do they have a little more freedom to do what they want to do?
That's the question for the hour as more details are being revealed about their relationship. Now, I don't know anything about her personal life. I don't keep up with the celebrities like that. I just go watch the movies. But I also learn they're engaged. That's the term people are using since 2015. And they have a 10-year-old son. But you raise a very good question about what type of rules and policies might be in place when you do not have a legal certificate of marriage. But they are a couple, and she was at some of the NBA playoff games last year, and they haven't kept it a secret, that they are in a relationship. I
Mhm.
don't know if it's a monogamous relationship.
And so I was thinking that too. So they're both keeping their, and she asked for her privacy
She
in
did.
her only public statement, and it seems that they've been fairly private for
Yep.
I guess over a decade, and
Because
so
I had
they
no
may
idea
have.
she had a 10-year-old son. She's 52.
I did not either.
Yep.
So, for all we know, they could have an open relationship. The only reason this even came out this time was because, or it appears, the rumors are that this woman wanted to stop the relationship with
Yep.
the guy, and he said
Ime.
no. Who knows how many people he had been sleeping with before who signed a non-disclosure agreement, who she
Yeah.
knew about, or who she might be sleeping with. I don't know, and she's not going to tell us.
Yeah, because she's already in some heat. So the question has popped up. I don't know anything about their relationship, but I wanted that to be a segue for us to talk about infidelity in marriage, as I have had a number of couples on my couch
Hmm.
talking about reconciling and reviving their marriage or their relationship, and there has been some infidelity involved in it. And many times it was the husband, not always. Um,
Right.
what's been your experience with talking with couples when infidelity is in place?
So I've luckily never had any couples come into my office where there was infidelity, or where I'll
Really?
say they never reported. Yeah, they've never reported infidelity to me. But what I've heard many times working with couples is when he or she does ABC, it makes me want to go cheat. So
I
it
see.
makes me wonder, if they cheated before, but also, is there ever an excuse to cheat? If someone doesn't stop getting on your nerves or they don't stop nagging you,
Or
is
are they looking for an excuse to
right.
justify their actions? Yeah, yeah.
And my
So
answer is always no, just get divorced or decide what rules you're going to set for your relationship. But don't use whatever he or she is doing as your excuse to
that's
go cheat.
blaming your partner
Right.
for your inappropriate actions. Yep, yep, yep. So I have a case study just want to bring up that I think is very relevant, especially for a lot of guys out there and some of the women too who are married to men or in a relationship with men. But first, I need to start off by saying, I'm surprised you haven't had those couples where infidelity was an issue, but I've had a lot.
The Lord has protected me from that. I'm not sure I would be able to be as biased as I am. I mean, sorry, unbiased
Yeah.
as I am in my other sessions.
One of the things I realized is a theory, a personal theory that I've concluded. There are some individuals, some are men, some are women, um, who do not believe in monogamy. They're not ready for it. They may tell their partner that they're ready for it, and they may even convince themselves that they're ready for it. But actuality, I have talked to a lot of men who are in relationships with women. They're married, kids, mortgage, everything, and that desire to engage in sexual behavior with another woman was very strong, or to have this person on the side who was sort of like a girlfriend, they
Mm.
can talk to, they go out on dates, with them. Yeah, yeah.
See, I'm not
and
that person.
and they saw it when they were growing up. I heard that over and over again. Their dad had a girlfriend, their uncles cheated on their wives. The granddaddy had different kids out of wedlock, out of the marriage with their grandmother. So this was a pattern that they saw growing up, and so it was normalized. Those individuals exist. Now they're not all men. Some are women, but right now I'm focusing on the guys. There are those guys, and many of them are selfish and do not know how to operate within a monogamous, healthy relationship. They don't know what it looks like, and they go seeking out some of those affairs, and that's a priority for them. And what I can say to some of you other people out there, women who may be dating or in a relationship with someone like that, you need to find out, does your dude fall into that category?
Hmm.
So guess how you can figure out, Aisha, if the guy is falls into that category.
Okay, tell me. I need to know too.
They're always on the prowl. They're always on the prowl. The wives, they saw warning signs when they were dating. He was checking out other women while they were out on a date. Find numbers here and there. This is before cell phones.
Hmm.
Piece of paper.
Yeah.
He wasn't where he was supposed to be. Coming home acting mysterious, being a little bit evasive, starting an argument when she starts questioning him. Well, where have you been? I talked to your friend. He said he didn't see you all day. All that because he was on a prowl.
Hmm.
That's how you can tell. And they're good at it too. And they even get mad that she's investigating to discover whether or not he's cheating. I mean, he gets mad at her and it's her fault, just what you
Yeah.
said earlier. So
Yeah.
those are the men who I believe are not ready for marriage. And it's up to a lot of you guys, women out there in particular, to identify those men. A lot of them are in their 20s. They're just not
Uh,
ready to
you
be
think
single.
20s? I'm thinking more 40s,
It
50s
carries
these
on to
days.
that.
Maybe they were okay in their 30s. Either, they're young and they grow out of it, or they were better when they were young and
Some grow
decide that
out of it.
they missed out on something
Yep.
as younger people.
And what I've heard, well, the husband to the wife, he may be 35 or so. What's wrong? My daddy did it. My mom stayed. You even told me that your dad cheated on your mom. And so they're wondering why she's upset when he's doing what he saw from his dad and what she has reported that her dad did also. So that causes some confusion. How would you handle that?
As a therapist or as a
Yes,
as a
absolutely.
woman?
As a therapist.
So I would probably just have to refer out because
Really?
what, yeah. Well, the thing about being a therapist and working with couples is that you can't choose a side. And when I hear a
Yeah,
man saying something like that, I won't say I be triggered because I don't. I mean, I haven't been in that exact situation, but it just pisses me off. What I think about is back in the day, a lot of women, they couldn't work, or they weren't working, and
yeah,
if they had not stayed, they would not have had their home, or they would have had a difficult time taking care of their children.
that's true.
Women today, we don't put up with that. We don't
We
have
have
to put up
options.
with
Some
that.
some don't.
You're right. But that brings me to my next point. Be authentic, because there are people everywhere who will put up with something. And your woman might be the one who's okay with you sleeping with other people. Jada Pickett doesn't care.
Will Smith don't care. He's going around slapping the wrong guy.
Right. So, on the other hand, there are women who don't care if you sit at home all day and you don't work, as long as they know where you are.
Absolutely.
I'm not that woman, but
So,
some women
so I,
are.
I bet you aren't. So yeah, it would be difficult for you to remain neutral.
Yeah.
In
I
that,
know
yeah,
this about myself, so I have to refer them to you, Harrison.
I see. I've had plenty. I'm surprised you haven't had them.
I might snap. I,
So,
I might.
so that's the first point I wanted to make. But the case study I want to ask you about, Aisha, from the woman's perspective. 35-year-old black couple, 3 kids. I think they're all daughters.
Okay.
They met in college, got pregnant right after college, around 22. They handling things, work, career, all that stuff. Things are going. Oh, hubby, uh, has an affair with a woman on his job.
Hmm.
He not only sleeps with her, he was caught because he was buying her gifts.
Now you
And
are sending the family money to some.
buying her gifts, taking her out on lunch, looking forward to seeing her. He changed the way he dressed. He changed his grooming standards, haircut, beard, goatee, and stuff. And to impress her because he knew what she liked. I believe she bought him a gift, a shirt, a tie, or something like that. But the wife realized it was going on because she can see the debit card and credit card receipts and
So he just
wondering,
didn't care.
nope, he developed some strong feelings for this person. So they came in because the wife wants to save her marriage. And by this time, he's actually embarrassed. He's actually surprised at himself. This had gone on for over 9 months on the job. And so, we explore and figure out what I realized he loved his wife. He truly loved his wife. What he had problems adjusting to was adult married life, having a routine, 3 kids, focusing on caring for the kids, all of their activities. You and I both know this,
Yeah.
and so there's a lot of energy into the kids and managing the house. And so the romance between the couple, the married couple, sort of decreased. Meanwhile, old girl on the job thought he was cute.
And didn't care anything about his wife or his kids.
Not a damn thing.
Her
Flirted
her
with him.
daddy probably did the same thing with her mom too. So she thought it was okay. You just got to pick a role, the wife or the mistress.
Flirted with him for over 3 or 4 months, suggested they get together. He always, shrugged it off, but he liked it.
Hmm.
He said it reminded him when he was younger, when he was in college, someone liking him, a girl giving him attention, because at home they're doing their thing. They got a family to take care of. And I can certainly understand that. But he felt like he wasn't getting the attention that he wanted. So this young lady on the job gave him that attention, boosted his ego, made him feel good. Meanwhile, he's taking her out to lunch, paying for lunch, buying her gifts, and he fell for her. Now he
Why
was
not
in.
just tell your wife that you feel like you're not getting enough attention? See if she'll give you more attention, if she'll hire a nanny or a babysitter. It doesn't sound like he even gave her a chance to fix. Well, it doesn't sound like there was initially really a problem, but he
No,
didn't
there
give
wasn't.
her he did not give her a chance to give him the happy feelings he was getting from this other woman.
Yep. So he never revealed to her, his wife, that he was unhappy or dissatisfied. I don't know if unhappy was a good term. Dissatisfied, but he turned to this other source besides his wife. And you're right, he did not give the wife an opportunity to know about it and for them to work on it, make some adjustments in the house, go out on some dates, even just a vacation, just them two. He never talked about it, but he really liked that attention from the young lady, and his feelings grew very strong. Now in hindsight, he was sitting on my couch, thinking, I can't believe I did that. He was
I
like
must have been
shocked.
possessed. What
He's
was
like,
I
I don't
thinking?
even know. He was being genuine too. I just don't know why I kept doing that. Meanwhile, the wife was mad. She was upset. She was disappointed, and she felt betrayed. But she was there in marriage counseling
Mm.
to save her marriage, because part of it, she loves him. And like you said earlier, that's a two-income family, and they got 3 kids.
Well, that's
And
another thing. I
yep,
think a lot of women feel like they can't move on, or like no one will want them with 3 kids, or no one will want all the drama and the baggage, and they won't be able to give time to, and if she can't give enough time and attention to her current husband, she'll feel like another man won't feel like she can give time to them either.
yeah.
But
So
let me
she
tell you, women who think that, don't worry. He has to have them every other week or half the week anyway. So you have plenty of time to give attention to another man.
Absolutely. So that reminds me of the Ime Nia Long situation,
Hmm.
because for a long period of time, their relationship has been a distant relationship.
Hmm.
And they would live together periodically. Then he got a job down in San Antonio as
Yeah.
the assistant coach. And, moved up to Boston, and she's out of LA. So that's what made me think about that couple that I had years ago, and how he didn't feel like he was getting what he wanted and the attention out of the relationship. Now, let's not also forget there are other obligations. There are
Yeah.
kids. She worked, and so did he. So the question becomes, what are you expecting from her, and are you giving her the same thing that you
Hmm.
want? But I bring that up as that I believe that is a trap that some guys place themselves in without talking to their wife. Hey, let's talk about us. Let's get together, just you and me. Let's send the kids off. Things like that. I remember when I was a kid, just myself and my sister before my youngest sister was born. We spent the summers in Alabama with my cousins. We spent like 2 whole summers. I mean, 2 whole months,
Uh-huh.
so that my parents could spend the time together when they had a 5 and a 3 year old,
Hmm.
in the house. But there are some couples out there who don't do that, and some of the guys do not communicate that to their wives. So I bring that up as an example of a trap you may be setting for yourself and allowing someone else to slip into your DM, sort of, and grab your attention when their intentions aren't to replace your wife. They just want to have a good time.
Well,
And
and that appears like that's what it appears that that's what happened in this situation. For let's say the guy, I'm just gonna keep calling him the guy because
the
I
coach, just call him the coach.
okay, the coach. So for the coach, we know he makes a lot of money. He has to make, at least a meal, probably a lot
And
more
leave.
than that. But Nia Long does too.
Yep.
For those other coaches and basketball players while they're traveling, a lot of their wives are housewives. They will travel with them. They will make sure that they are there. Like Kobe Bryant's wife used to do, sit outside the locker room waiting for you to come. No one was
Okay.
gonna walk up and get my man. Nia
Okay.
can't do that because she's living her life being a successful, beautiful actress.
And 2 sons.
Right. With 2 kids. So it's a total slap in the face to her because she's probably there as much as she can be, but also she's important. She's not some nobody who's running around trying to ride your coattails. Now, if this is an executive's wife,
Hmm.
she probably went into it thinking this is the perfect arrangement.
Yep.
You're not going to want to leave me alone for me. When I get tired of you, you'll say, it's okay. I still got Nia at home. So you won't try to ruin my marriage. But he was like, oh, no, no, no.
That's the rumor.
I want her and I want you.
Yeah, you're not going anywhere. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna show up to make sure that you see me. That's the rumor.
And apparently he harassed her so much that she was willing to tell on herself.
Yep. I think
Like,
she did.
that's a
I
whole
think
lot of harassment.
yes. Yeah, in the workplace.
And so that appears to be maybe the reason why, and this is what I was seeing in the news. People were outraged that he was put on blast and she wasn't.
Yep.
Her name wasn't given. He was
Yep.
fired and she wasn't fired. That's
Yep.
because it may be the issue was not so much the sexual relationship so much as the now harassing
The
sexual
reaction.
harassment. Yeah.
The reaction when she tried to break it off. I do believe that is unfair. She's a grown woman. She participated just like he did.
Yeah.
She has a family just like he has one. And I don't think he should be the only one that's exposed.
Oh no, I don't think so. And as soon as we get her name, I want to see what she looks like too, because we're
I'm,
thinking this
I'm
is Nia
curious.
Long.
I
Not
know,
that any woman does, no woman deserves to be cheated on.
but Nia
Nia,
Long.
look, Holly Berry was cheated on before.
She was more than
So was
once.
Mariah Carey.
Yep.
Um, others, Beyonce,
Beyonce.
Jay-Z. Who cheats on
He
Beyonce?
he he rapped about it. So that's the side I wanted to bring up and talk to the guys about. Think about what's at stake. What's missing from your marriage or your relationship with your significant other, and is that outside entity going to be the answer? Because there are consequences when she's fed up with it. Now that couple I talked about, we I helped them work it out. They stay together. They're strong. They come in about once or twice a year. just from some checkup things, and he still gets bored, you know, in the relationship, and she's tired of hearing it, but they
Oh.
are together, and there is no more infidelity. So the
And
flip,
she doesn't feel like she owes him. She don't feel like she needs to go do a little something to feel like they're equal. No, no, that would just be me. Feel like you need to cheat too at least
no, she
once
did
to be
not.
equal. No, okay,
She did go get some body enhancement surgery.
okay. Well,
Because she I think they're like 40 now, 40, early 40s. Yeah,
okay.
so she did do that, and one kid is in college. Yeah, they came. It was during the pandemic. I talked to them, but yeah, they're doing good. But yeah, that issue is still there, but they're working on it.
Hmm.
So to the guys, if you want to work on the issue, you got to confront it. And talk to your partner about it. At least give them a chance. To show you that they can give you whatever this other person is giving you, because nothing's going to come out of that relationship with the woman on the job.
Yeah,
That's the point
and
I
that's
want to
the
make.
worst place too. I mean, I know it's those women are the most accessible, I
And
suppose.
people knew in that job. So
Does he still
so
have that job? Did he was he able to keep that job?
I no,
Okay,
that was a while ago. No,
okay,
I think he
okay, good,
intentionally left, found another
very
job. That was
good.
that was one of her
Because like
stipulations.
that's necessary for forgiveness. We had a show a few weeks ago about forgiveness, and one of
We
the
sure
things
did.
that the speaker said was, it's a little not easier, but you're more invested in forgiveness when you have so many things to lose and you have
Yep.
so much invested in the relationship already. And what I'm hearing is that this woman already has a lot invested in the relationship,
And
so
she
much
loves
that she
him.
wanted to, well, so it's love is an investment as well. And so she was willing to work on forgiveness. I
Yep.
wonder if Nia's willing to work on forgiveness, because for us on the outside watching, it's like he's the dummy. Nia, you'll be fine. Find somebody,
Yeah.
richer, but she's also got a kid or two with him.
So the other topic, and I would love to hear your perspective on this. The women who have been betrayed
Hmm.
in a relationship, how do you get over it? I know what my couple did, and that's not the only one. That's just the one that came to mind. Some clients that I worked with, I heard on the radio they were really talking about it a couple of mornings ago. What do you do as a woman when you're betrayed in such a public manner?
Yeah.
Humiliation.
Well, I'm sure well, of course, my and a lot of therapists' initial thought is go to therapy, but also
Yeah.
like, how do you do that, or how do you even seek a therapist? Because I always tell everyone, interview a few, but as Neil Long, you can't interview a few. This one
Yeah.
and now everybody know. Well, at least she's seeking. Unnamed source said Neil Long sought therapy at this place. I mean, so. But I still want her. Maybe she's already in therapy, and so she can just talk to her therapist more about that. I will also say seek support from someone who knows how it is to be in your situation, preferably someone who's not bitter at this moment. So Nia can maybe talk to. I'm sure she probably has Holly Berry's phone number. Talk to Holly if you want to. Talk to Beyonce. Talk to somebody who got away from their man and somebody who stayed with their man. See how each of them chose that position, and if either one of those positions feels right for you. So support is actually number one, whether that be via therapy or via friends and family. And then, just maybe in Nia's specific situation,
Hmm.
assess whether or not that relationship is for you, period.
Okay.
Well, whether or not anyone cheated. Because I think that when you are engaged to someone for that long and you have decided you don't want to marry them, we need to
7 years.
determine seven. Okay. We need to determine what is it about this whole situation or this person that makes you say for sure you have no intent of getting married. Just like
Yeah.
no intent.
Yeah. If I was counseling them, I would want to explore, of course, how they defining that relationship, and uh, I guess I'm curious why they never took the next step to become married. And what type of arrangements do they have? Their marriage gives you some protection, in a relationship and it's legal, if something happens to him, she gets to make decisions, medical decisions for him, and also a financial situation. So I would be curious because I'm not too sure if this has happened before.
Mhm. Well, that's what I was about to say. One thing could be that maybe she makes more money than he. I'm sure she does. So she makes more money than him, and she doesn't want him to be connected to her finances. That happens a lot. But also, maybe she already knows he's a hoe, so she wasn't going. She didn't want to be married to him anyway, in case she thought she might have to divorce him later on.
Yeah, but betrayal is tough,
Yeah.
within relationships. And I mentioned that couple and the long road that they were on to reconcile, but it requires someone to restore their faith within that person. That was what was really broken in that relationship. And I'm
Hmm.
wondering if Nia Long's faith in the coach, that faith has been broken, that trust is gone. I don't know what to expect from you. This really surprises me. Are you who I believe you were? Are questions that I'm pretty sure she's asking, just like my client years ago. They met in college, and they were still together at 35. And she was wondering, does he want to go out there and see if she is what he really wants? So a byproduct of this type of infidelity is that it hurts the spirit of the person, the wife, and feeling insecure
Yeah.
about herself. That was an issue that she also had to overcome, with that. But what else would you think that the couple may need to do in a situation like that?
The only thing I'm really thinking is that both of them need the chance to tell their truth, not necessarily in public. However, I would definitely like to see it in public, not on Red Table Talk, but gonna see if Oprah let you. I want you to tell your truth with Oprah because I want to know what happened. But it might be therapeutic for you as well. And if you are going to stay with him, therapy is probably necessary as
Absolutely.
well. Therapy is
So
therapy is necessary if you stay with him. It's necessary if you don't stay with him.
So Oof Ellis says, I blame her. I think he's talking about
Oh,
Nia Long.
oh,
She let him know that she was not marrying him. She knew what was going on. Woo, that's a theory. That
well,
may be true.
maybe. I mean, like we said in the beginning, there's possibly some leeway when you don't marry someone. And she was the one who said in public that she didn't plan on getting married. So what does that tell him? I mean, that may have hurt his feelings. That may be one of the reasons he went out there, even though I still feel like there's no excuse. That may
Yeah,
have
don't
contributed to it.
yeah, don't blame the other person. Grover Thornton says, if you tell me that we're not getting married, what else did she expect? She knew. So that seems to be a
I'll tell you what she
growing
expected.
theory.
She expected that he tell her when he was going to get ready to sleep with somebody else. He was being greedy. He said, I don't want you to leave, so I'm just going to keep it a secret.
Hmm.
What
So
she
the question.
expected was authenticity and honesty.
Gotcha. So that's the question. If your significant other tells you they want to remain in a relationship, but they don't want to get married, does that give you permission to go out and engage in an affair with someone else outside of the relationship? Because I'm sensing this growing theory that she caused some of his behavior with that. So what do you think about that, Aisha?
Again, there's no excuse for cheating. And also,
Unless you have permission.
exactly, I was about to say, but also, she very well may have known. Nobody wants to know what happened. This happens every day around the world. Yeah, nothing special news, but not important news. Yeah, I mean that was one thing I was saying is Nia Long is no different than a lot of other women who have been cheated on, and
Absolutely.
and to say that why would he cheat on is Nia Long, that makes other women seem like they're less significant, and that's not the case. He was a man, and a man did what some men do to women, which goes to
Yeah.
show that you cannot be beautiful or rich enough to
Yep.
not be cheated on.
If he's gonna do it, he's gonna
Yeah,
do it. And if it can happen to Neil Long, you know,
it can happen to you.
it can happen to anyone. Mike Kelly, no need in telling you something you already know about. Come on, Aisha.
You all are convinced she knew, and I'm saying I don't know. She's definitely kept her privacy. It might be a Will and Jada situation. Remember when
Yep.
Jada did whatever she did this last time, with that the little young
August
boy?
Alsina, the
Yes.
little the drug addicted boy who was a
Yeah.
friend of her son.
Right.
Let's get it right. Yep.
Will was like, "Yeah, I do," and Stan Neal's like, "Stay out my business." So
So
maybe she
maybe the
did know.
media got it wrong. Maybe the
Maybe.
media is promoting the wrong narrative and that he cheated on Nia Long, his longtime fiance for 7 years. You know, perhaps the reality is this is part of their relationship. This is part of the agreement that they had, and the rest of us just aren't aware of it. You know, they have lived apart
Yeah.
a long time, but you know, infidelity, it can hurt. You
Yeah.
know, it can crumble a marriage and a family. So I just wanted to talk about the guys for a second, you know, because I just see that more than I see the women cheating. You know, but look, I tell you, just a little side note: when the women cheat, they do it. You know, they are playing, and they are good at it, at hiding it.
Yeah.
Whereas the men, they're getting caught a lot. You know, text
So men
messages.
are great at multitasking. So just
Man, I'm like, you never thought to delete the messages? You
turn your
know,
location off, so she can't on your phone, so she can't see where you are.
but I have encouraged a number of guys who are married to think about what's at stake, to think about the other people who are involved, the other individuals who didn't ask for it. And as one guy who came back after he and the wife broke up, and the kids, they were growing up, and she met a new man. I don't know if they got married or not, but he was in her life, and he bought the new guy bought the daughter some shoes. Woo! The ex-husband flipped out. Another man buying your daughter the shoes that she wanted, and he didn't have a chance to buy her the shoes. It may sound
Yeah.
trivial to a lot of people out there, but this dude flipped out. But it was all because he was the one who caused the damage within the relationship that
Well,
eventually led to them breaking up. And then the
then you
mom,
get
she
what you
moved on.
get.
Like Nia Long can move on. She has a
Yeah.
10-year-old son. Somebody would appreciate that, treat her right, and that son becomes attached to the new guy. And oh, Coach Ime, you know, I don't know if his career is going to still be intact after all of this. So
Yeah.
that's why I wanted to bring up today on today's hot topics,
Thank you.
infidelity in marriage, and Neil Long and Ime just brought it all to the surface.
Mm-hmm.
Any final thoughts from you, Dr. Aisha?
Women, if you get cheated on, you got to make a decision. Are you going to move on and stay with him? Or are you going to move on and live your life? Don't decide to stay with him because you are afraid of what is on the other side of your breakup. You'll be just fine.
Yeah, I agree. Don't make a decision out of fear. You know, like my old couple from years ago, she loved him. She believed in him. She knew he made a mistake. She did not minimize it, you know, but she was willing to work at it if he did so himself.
Mm-hmm.
If he put in the work and redeemed himself, and he did, but it took a lot of work, and they continue to work on it. You know, he's had to find some new outlets
Yeah.
so he doesn't feel bored all the time. But give your lady an opportunity, you
Oh, you better
know.
get on Groupon and see what they have going on for the month. Talk about he's bored.
And
Find
why? Yeah, that's exactly what he said. He's bored. And so that's in the relationship, in the house, and in the bedroom as
he'll get
well.
bored in the next relationship too. If you,
Yeah, and that's exactly what we
yeah.
talked about, you know, because she asked, well, how many tricks do you want me to do? You know, so that you're not bored. So it became an issue where we were focused more on him trying to live a fulfilling life.
Mhm.
So I hope you guys enjoyed today's show. I enjoyed talking about it with you, Aisha, because I know you're going to have a good,
Same.
unique perspective on it. So you guys been watching Two Therapists and the Microphone with myself, Dr. Harrison Davis.
And me, Dr. Aisha Dickerson.
So tune in next week. We're going to be back live at 7 o'clock p.m. on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, and on the Our Black Media Network. And we will see you guys then. Take care.
Like this.